Hello, this video is on a satirical elegy on the death of a late famous general. So let's start with some context. The target of the poem's satire is John Churchill, the first Duke of Marlborough. Swift targets him, Swift attacks him because he felt he was a war profiteer. So in the poem we see authority is mocked, we see the political system is satirised. And if we're to consider what is Swift's point, it would be that those in power are least suited to it. These are ideas I've lifted from the AQA analysis. The poem begins, His Grace impossible, what dead? It feels like the speaker has just found out that the general's died. It starts sort of in the middle of a conversation. But there is no expression of grief or sorrow or sadness. I think quite the opposite, really. He died of old age and in his bed, and could that mighty warrior fall? He died of natural causes, not like a glorious warrior. There's this sort of mock amazement about that. The speaker goes on, well, since he's gone, no matter how, the last loud trump must wake him now. The last loud trump being a reference to the trumpet call to bring the dead, to raise the dead on the day of judgment. And of course, and trust me, as the noise grows stronger, he'd wish to sleep a little longer. Why might the speaker think he'll want to sleep a little longer? Possibly because he will be eternally damned because of the way that he conducted his life. He considered him a war profiteer. And as he continues, the speaker talks about his age, and he says, "'Twas time in conscience he should die. This world he cumbered long enough." It was time for him to go. It was time for him to die. He left behind a great stink. It's not particularly flattering portrayal of the general. As the speaker continues, behold, his funeral appears. It's like it's sort of coming into sight, it's coming into view. But there won't be any widows and there won't be any orphans mourning or crying. There won't be any tears because he made them weep. Oh, hang on, let me push that up, sorry. Because he made them weep before he died. So that's obviously one of his flaws or crimes. Come hither, all ye empty things, ye bubbles raised by breath of kings, who float upon the tide of state. Come hither and behold your fate. So Swift is sort of calling him empty, bubbles being hollow, the idea of an empty vessel. That coming back to this point up here that those in power are least suited to it. Let's put that back. Let pride be taught by this rebuke, how very mean a thing's a duke. From all his ill-got honours flung, turned to that dirt from hence he sprung. I've taken this from AQA. They talk about the way Swift parodies the style of an epitaph, which is an inscription on a tombstone. But here we have him obviously commenting and criticising the Duke's life, or criticising the Duke, how very mean a thing's a Duke, his ill-got honours, and turned to that dirt, from hence he sprung. So, in your lessons on this poem, I think the main things you're going to be looking at will be satire and ridicule. This is a very sort of a bitter and unforgiving satire. This is a good word, a diatribe, which is a bitter attack on the Duke, on the general. What else? Up here. Yeah, an elegy, it's the idea, it's worth commenting on. Sort of a lament for the dead, as I spoke earlier about. This doesn't actually express express any grief or sorrow, which you would expect from an elegy. Instead, it's pointing out all the things that the Duke has done wrong, and that's why it's satirical. And I think that's it. Yep.